let's talk about OG Fortnite. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved the OG season, and I loved this 1 month of the Chapter 1 map. But there are some issues that I have with OG Fortnite returning. Everyone expected it to be a return to true form like it was in 2018. We started in Chapter 5, and we went all the way up to Season X, and the Big Bang event is happening soon as of time of this recording. For many people, and I know I'm not the only one in this boat, it just didn't have the same nostalgia factor as we were expecting it to be. Everyone was super excited to, drop at Tilted Towers, drop at Retail Road, their OG squad, and get a victory royale. But most people probably didn't have their OG squad. Most people probably didn't have the memories that came with OG Fortnite. And I think that's the biggest problem with it. At the time of this recording, Fortnite announced today that OG Fortnite would be returning. They said, not gonna lie, the OG season far exceeded our expectations, so much so that we'd like to bring it back. Opens 2024 roadmap doc. In the meantime, see you on the battle bus, Shaka emoji. So it's clear that OG Fortnite will be returning at some point in the next year. We don't know when or how it will be returning, but they're going to do it. And if they want to bring it back, they need to do it right. The biggest problem with OG Fortnite returning was that it wasn't the same Fortnite that we had played for the past 4 years. Let me expand on that a little bit. What I mean is that coming out of Chapter 4, we had so many new ways to get around the map. We had so many new weapons. We had so many different things that had changed Fortnite over the years, and they got rid of pretty much half of it. I'm glad we kept mantling and sprinting. That was great. It made traversal around the OG map much easier, but the weapon pool was awful compared to Chapter 4 Fortnite. Everybody's super excited, to get their hands on the OG Scar, the OG Pump. But the problem is that there's all this bloom and all the different types of weapons that were in OG Fortnite just were not as good compared to the weapons that we have today. And I know people have their mixed opinions about this, like, oh, the new weapons are too overpowered. All the scoped ARs do too much chip damage. I like the OG weapons better. They did lower damage, and I had to actually hit my shots to get it. But I think that's the problem, is that with the Scar, it's really hard to hit your shots if you aren't pretty much an aimbot because of how much bloom is on that weapon. You need to make sure that you're pretty much staying on your enemy the whole time, otherwise none of those shots are hitting. And that's what I dislike the most about the OG season, is that the weapons just didn't feel the same compared to Chapter 4. And maybe that's, I like the new Fortnite better coming out. Even though I have played since Season 5 and I am an OG player, new Fortnite is just better in many ways. The story's better, the gameplay mechanics are better. So many things are better about new Fortnite that coming back to the OG season just felt like a downgrade. And I think if Fortnite plans on bringing back OG for 2024, they need to make it much better. Otherwise, it's going to feel weak compared to all the new modes that they're adding for Chapter 5. Leakers have reported the Lego mode, which is almost complete and looks amazing from what leakers have told us so far. The new racing mode, which also looks amazing. A Guitar Hero style mode, which again looks amazing. And I think if Fortnite is adding all these new experiences to make it more of a platform rather than just a battle royale game, bringing OG Fortnite back needs to be something that blows people away again, just like this one did. Just in the month of November, Fortnite hit over 100 million players. That's a lot of people playing Fortnite at the same time. And I think if Fortnite wants to hit those numbers again by bringing back the OG season, it needs to be better than this one. We need to have vehicles. We need to have the movement mechanics that we currently have. We need to have all the newer things that make today's Fortnite, even when we're turning back to an OG map. And I think that was the biggest problem, is that, the OG map felt empty compared to today's maps. It didn't feel as involved, if that makes sense. It didn't feel as much of like an experience as the Chapter 4 map and the Chapter 3 map did. Now, despite all that, I do think the OG season was something that worked, and it did work really well. Like I said, 100 million players in the month of November. But I think there is a bit of an expectation going into Chapter 5 coming out of this OG season. So I kind of want to touch on that just a little bit. Everyone's obviously expecting, Chapter 5 to be amazing, I guess. And coming out of the OG season, it needs to blow expectations. Now, people are already planning on quitting the game, because, OG Fortnite's going away, I'm going to go away too. And I urge you, if you see this video, to stay and at least try Chapter 5, because I think it's going to be a great experience. And the reason OG Fortnite brought so many people back was because, oh my gosh, OG Fortnite, I get to play, the original map again and get to experience what Fortnite was like before they changed everything again. But most of the changes were good things, in my opinion. What Fortnite has done to make this game more expansive was a good thing. The developer badge that Epic Games hands out to their Fortnite developer employees at the start of each season, the one for this next season has the Epic Games logo with a ton of the current collabs and things that have happened or are happening for the next season. So stuff like Lego, the Rocket League racing mode, Unreal Engine, and a lot of other things that are happening for Chapter 5. And I think it's all going to be good things. So I think coming out of the OG season, a lot of people expect it to be phenomenal. The trailer showed us, trains, we have shields, we have weapon mods, we have some new movement, and I think it's going to be great, and I think it's going to be probably one of the best chapters that we've ever experienced coming out of this OG season. And I think, for players who are OG players and really enjoyed the OG season, they're probably looking at something different, but I think for a lot of players, it's, okay, we've played this OG season, we're back to almost the bare bones of Fortnite, but now that we're coming out of OG Fortnite, the Big Bang event is happening, we're doing all this time travel stuff, the next chapter needs to be a good one. And I think Fortnite is really doing that. Based on the trailer, it looks really good. All the new weapons, all the weapon mods that we can have, it's going to be a great season. So here are some hopes that I have for Chapter 5 Season 1. The biggest one on my bucket list is Siphon. I think Siphon was just even if it's just in tournaments, I think Siphon being a part of the game is probably one of the best things that has happened for tournaments. Even if it's like an augment again, like it was in Chapter 4, I think just having Siphon again was awesome. It's especially in a tense environment like a tournament or end game in a battle royale match. It's really nice to have, I got an Elim free 50 health. It's a really nice thing to have, and I really hope they bring back Siphon for the Chapter 5 map. For Chapter 5, I would also really like to see some new vehicles. In the trailer, we did see a new car. I want to say it said Lamborghini on it, but I'm not entirely sure about that, so I'll definitely fix that in post. Go ahead, editing me, fix that. I'm probably saying things, but, would really hope to get a Lambo in Chapter 5. I think it would be kind of fun. We also do know that some form of dirt bikes or sport bikes are returning. We did see those in the Chapter 5 trailer, so super excited about those. I've always loved the dirt bikes, and a funny thing, they felt like they just kind of randomly added them into the OG season like this past week or something, because I was playing some matches and dirt bike. I'm just like, where did this come from? So those are some of my favorite bikes. I love being able to do like jump and do all the fun tricks. I think that's one of my favorite bikes to do. Like if there's no one around in an area, I'm in, bam, dirt bike, just ride it off a hill. Super fun to do. So I really hope that they bring dirt bikes in some form for that. There's also the train, which we saw in the trailer, which is guarded by some NPCs, supposedly a part of the new like secret societies or whatever, or like agent groups that are most likely going to be in Chapter 5. So I really hope that there's some more stuff with that, like some vehicles at the train station or like some other different vehicles that we can see. Really hope for helicopters to come back because we haven't seen those since, I think, Chapter 2. I can't remember if leakers leaked helicopters, but if they did, I want to say that they talked about that helicopters are coming back with possible like missile launchers on them. So I think it'd be super cool because it gives another use to helicopters. And there were helipads in Chapter 4, so strange why they didn't bring back helicopters because of that. It was kind of a weird absence. But I think it would be really cool to see just some new vehicles and some new ways to get around the map. On a slightly different note, talking about something that's not inside of Battle Royale, but I want to talk about the ranked system in Fortnite. I do think that the ranked system right now is probably one of the best ones that we have in multiplayer shooter games, although it could use some work. I think the biggest thing it's missing is kind of just like a top 500, top 1,000 kind of method of ranking players. Even if it is kind of just a numbers ranking system, I think it would work better than what we currently have, where everyone who is below like 100,000 or something, they're all unranked or something like that, or maybe they're all bronze 1 or something along the lines of that. But I think we should reserve Unreal rank for the top 500 players in the world, because right now we've seen an increase of players wanting to play, the ranked games, like all those solo and duo cash cups that happened during chapter 1, like every week. A lot of people played those because they were ranked, and they were like, oh, to play tournaments, I have to, have a rank. So a lot of people were playing in the ranked battle royale. So I think we need to have a distinction for those Unreal players. So probably like top 500, I think would be great, where the top 500 people have Unreal rank, and everyone else, it maybe could work like the way it does. But I definitely think that even the top 3 ranks need to have distinctions, or numbered tiers for players in the world, because I think having 10,000 players in Unreal rank is not good. And it gives incentives for like content creators who also sometimes play competitive. It gives them an incentive to actually, play ranked. And it's like, oh, I want to be one of the top players in the world, and I'm also a content creator. I should strive for that, number 500 rank and try and reach Unreal. And that's a really cool incentive for players who's like, it's like, oh, I gotta be, a top 500 player, and then I have the Unreal rank. Instead of just like, oh yeah, I've got Unreal rank. Okay, well, you're like one of 10,000 people who have Unreal rank. Instead, you're one of 500 people who have Unreal rank. Now, that is a better accomplishment. You can say, I'm a top 500 player, or I'm a top 500 player in Fortnite. And that is something you can flex on your friends, instead of, oh yeah, I've got Unreal rank, because everyone knows there are a lot of people in Unreal right now. And I think that's really it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on the OG season and where you hope to see Fortnite go from here. Once again, I'm not saying that the OG season was bad, but I'm kind of saying the OG season was bad. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.